Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's D-Man, the Great here, and I'm back again for some juicy basketball content. And today, James Harden recently, well, not James Harden, but Giannis has been kind of acting up lately. He's been talking a lot of junk to a lot of people. He's been acting up a lot more than he ever normally does. Like he has a couple of games where he'll get angry and act up a little bit, but he's been acting up a lot more this year than he has before. And with that being said, we have so many different, well, we not really so many different, but he's been kind of targeting a lot of negative energy towards James Harden lately, as he took little petty shots at James Harden with he doesn't pass. We want someone on our team that passes during the All-Star draft, and that's cool. It's just one-off joke. But then he proceeds during the game to say, "Oh, we're looking for whoever James Harden is guarding," as a pot shot at James Harden's defense. And really, we know it's not true that James Harden doesn't play defense. So it's kind of just a petty shot at him. And James Harden yesterday with an interview with Rachel Nichols came back and spoke about he came back and spoke about just how if he was 7 foot, how he averaged more points and assists than Giannis and the other players on Team Giannis, and then how if he was 7 foot, so he could just run to the hoop and dunk like all the other 7-footers do, which is a shot at him. And it's not really the best arguments presented towards each other. It's kind of just petty shots between one another at this point with those two. And it led me to think, that's very interesting, because it's an argument between size and skill, or it's an argument between athleticism, size, and skill between the two. And the thing is, this problem is very solvable, and really the reason why Giannis would say these things or be a derogatory figure towards James Harden would be because James Harden has spoken before about how he feels he deserves a couple of these MVPs that he lost, that he was like number 2 in. And he's not lying. James Harden is not lying, because they change the rules, they change everything to stop James Harden from getting MVP, because majority of the time when James Harden doesn't get the MVP award, it is kind of something that's very conspicuous about what earns you the MVP award. That's the question right now. And when you dig and look at everything, James Harden has been a high spot in the last 5 MVP races. And really the first one with Steph Curry in 2014-15 was a very arguable MVP award. Really looking at it, if you look at it, James Harden had the numbers, but his team didn't have the same amount of wins as Steph Curry. Steph Curry's team had 65 wins in the season. They had 67 actually. They had 67, I believe, and won the championship that season. And James Harden was a close second, but James Harden had a better statistical season than Steph Curry, and then on a much worse team than Steph Curry. But Steph Curry got the MVP because Steph Curry was the best player on the best team, and he performed very well. And Steph Curry really broke out in that year. And that's kind of always been the formula for MVP. To be the MVP of the league, you have to be on the best team and get the most wins. So in 2015-16, Steph Curry kind of ran away with the award. And then won unanimous MVP. So that season doesn't really matter, because James Harden was like, 3 on that list? Second to Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was the only one that was high on that list as well. And no one really stood a chance of beating Steph Curry for that. So no one actually deserved to be in that same bracket as Steph Curry that year. So the next year, 2017, 2016, the narrative's kind of changed as Russell Westbrook won the MVP because he averaged a triple-double, meaning that in many cases, stats don't matter when you're looking at MVP, right? Because it makes more sense that James Harden, who had a great statistical year and was a couple of rebounds a game from averaging the triple-double, as well as Russell Westbrook. And he had 10 more wins. He had 50-plus wins. He was a third seed in the West. Where it was a year that James Harden didn't really have anyone on the team. It was just James that year. And he won 50-some wins in the Western Conference. Went to the second round and he lost. But he had beat the MVP in the playoffs that year in Russell Westbrook. And he said before that he felt like he deserved that MVP. And in my opinion, I think that he kind of deserved the MVP, but Russell Westbrook should not be denied because Russell Westbrook deserves an MVP award just based off the merit that he did average a triple-double for like 3-4 seasons in a row. So, but James Harden probably did deserve the 2017 MVP, but he didn't get it. He spoke about it before. He's good friends with Russell Westbrook to this day. And Russell Westbrook never took any shots at Russell. Russell Westbrook never took any shots back at him for that. And looking at 2017-18, James Harden won the MVP. His team won 65 games, which was a good amount of was a good amount of wins. James Harden was the MVP that season because they couldn't really deny him anymore. And the only competition was LeBron James, and I feel like LeBron might have earned the MVP over James Harden that particular season, but James Harden clearly was far and wide the MVP in that season. He was a few shots from winning the NBA championship, and we're not going to get too deep into that one because that one doesn't really matter at this point. But then you had last season where Giannis won the MVP award based off of everything, and James Harden had to comment that James Harden, had the stats and all the most miraculous, amazing things, and no one gave him the credit to get an MVP, whereas Giannis gets the credit for winning 60 games. So it's like, oh, he feels if I win the games, I don't get the MVP. And then if I have the stats, I don't win the MVP. But the thing is, a lot of the time with the MVP, and then he came with the claim that the MVP award is mostly narrative and who the media is backing to win it. And it's fair, and that's true. But at this point in time, Giannis is a physical anomaly with the league. He's so dominant that he's not really... They're running folks out of the gym. He's not really playing that many minutes. It's like the 73-9 Warrior season. And really, after some evaluation, personally, I think if Giannis and those guys kept running, they could honestly even beat Golden State 73-9 if they want to this season. If they try hard enough, they can easily... Well, not easily, but they can beat the 73-9 if they try hard enough. But they're one loss from losing that chance at their record. But they can win. They could even tie the record. But it's looking pretty dangerous for most of the league right now. The Clippers and Lakers don't look like they're... Well, we have to see what the playoffs holds because the regular season is a lot different from the playoffs. And the Bucks are the Bucks in the regular season. We have to see if the playoff ball translates because the playoff ball is always important, as you seen last year when Kawhi came back and put that thing on Giannis. So, with that being said, it's a lot of narratives and stuff around the MVP, and these two beefing over former MVPs and just things like that is really petty at this point. And really, between the two of them, they really don't have to do that they don't have to do this kind of stuff. But I kind of like that energy. I want to see it. I like to see that kind of stuff. But we I could say with confidence that I will be honestly shocked to hell if the Rockets make the finals. And then the Bucks are likely going to be in the finals just off of the merit that the East is not that strong. Unless the Celtics turn into what they were a couple seasons ago and roll the Bucks, which isn't likely with Giannis being the man he is right now. So it's pretty much, and then the 76ers are injury prone. They don't mesh well together on the court. Al Horford's playing his worst basketball of his career. Ben Simmons is hurt with a bad back right now. Embiid is hurt with something. It's not looking good for them. The Raptors are good, but they don't have that number one guy anymore. And while Siakam is great, Siakam has Giannis to contend with. So it's like your two best players are matched up at the exact same position. Giannis is bigger, faster. Well, I don't know if he's faster, but he's the same. It's not looking good for the East. And without KD being healthy with Kyrie, the Nets aren't a challenger this year, and Kyrie's out for the season. So the Bucks have pretty much a run through the East. It's basically it's basically try to give them a fight pretty much if you want to, and they're pretty much gonna roll the East. So it's pretty much a losing battle for James Harden this time, because James Harden isn't gonna get the MVP this season unless something insane happens, and Giannis is pretty much gonna get the MVP at this point. Some people are saying LeBron should win it. I wouldn't be mad at LeBron winning an MVP this year. But where are you gonna go? Giannis has no competition in the East. It's not really anything that they could do much. There's nothing that they can do about it. It's dangerous out here for them in the East, and there's nobody to contend with this dude. So we're in the position we're in. We got the Clippers and Lakers. If the Clippers and Lakers can give them a fight in the finals, I can't. And then it's kind of similar to last season. I can't really see the Clippers beating the Bucks, and I'm having a difficult time seeing the Lakers beat the Bucks as well. So we'll see. So I thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later with some more nice basketball